Many of us, if we are willing to admit it, never came to God because we were like, life is so good right now, and I was just doing some thinking about God, and I was wrestling with things, and I think I really should think about Christianity. To be honest, the way that most people come to Christianity is like, I lost my job. I was crippled. I got cancer. My boyfriend left me or something. And you come to God and you say, I've tried everything else, and you're the last thing as well. Maybe you can help me. And God never turns us out and says, well, fine, you came right now, thanks, you really waited a long time. He never treats us like that. It's remarkable that, we often turn to God in the midst of our pain, and yet in His kindness and His tenderness, He does not throw us out, and He works with us. That's how I came to Christ. God is kind enough to take away from people what they cherish so much so that they might be able to see Him. I think this is really important for us to understand about the meaning of pain. Instead of just running away from pain in our lives, we really should stop if you're thinking and saying, are you trying to get my attention? Is there a lesson for me to learn here? I remember watching a show called 60 Minutes. Maybe some of you watch documentaries. I like documentaries. I like learning about interesting things. And there was in this documentary, a girl who was diagnosed with something called CIP, which is congenital insensitivity to pain. I didn't know about this before, but it's actually a rare disease in which people don't really feel pain. Now, you might think that's an amazing thing because that would make you like a superhero, but it's actually a very, very dangerous thing. In fact, in that documentary, their little girl, they figured out really young that, she couldn't feel pain because she would actually begin to bite her tongue and her fingers, and she would bite them and said they would look like raw pieces of meat afterwards. The concern for my parents was so great that in consultation with the doctors, they felt that the only way to save her was actually to do a dentist procedure and to remove all of her teeth. And so they took all the teeth out of her mouth just to save her life. And her mother, in that documentary, you can see her weeping and declaring, and she emotionally says, I would give anything for my child to be able to feel pain. Now you stop and you think about that. Can you imagine what it takes for a mother to have to say something like that? You think about us in our lives. Like, I know many of us would say, I only want successes in life. How many of us actually want pain in life? You know what the truth of the matter is? Is that, if you only had successes in life and you never failed and everything you touched did well, like, you had the Midas touch and everything you touched just turned to gold and you could make millions of dollars, I'm willing to bet that just based off my interaction with people in this world, that most likely, if you succeeded at everything that you did, you would be a very unbearable person to be with. You'd be probably self-centered, highly narcissistic. You wouldn't even ask other people for their opinions. You would just simply say, I win at everything that I do. You should just listen to me. Why even bother to have a conversation? If you did not have pain, if you did not have failure, if you did not have setbacks in your life, you would never learn. You would never see a need to learn, nor would you ever think that you would need correction in your life. Logically speaking, pain in your life is actually good, especially if God brings it to you, because He is showing you through pain, using a megaphone to shout into your life and say, something is wrong, and that needs to change, and I'm getting your attention here. You need to listen to me because I'm speaking to you in a way that you will understand. Pain tells us, take your hand off of the hot stove because that is not good for you. Put it here instead where you're going to find life. Right? And that's what God wants from us in the midst of pain.